My name's Brian Rush. Welcome back to the Lodge here at Rush Custom Callers YouTube channel. Let's have a seat and we're going to get back to the next episode. All right, so we're back on the topic of coyote conversation and coyote calling here. So I hand call, that's strictly all I do, but this is going to go out to the e-caller guys too, with stand placement, setup, wind direction. Now, we've all heard that, excuse me, that educated coyote, that coyote that's really hard to call in, he's played the game, and this is going to fall back to Pavlov's theory, where we're positively and negatively conditioning an animal to a sound and an action. So that coyote that's played the game and he's heard it, he's seen it, he's smelled it, he's played the game. If every coyote in nature was that negatively impacted by sound, they would curl up into a hole and die. They would lose the motivation to breed, to feed, to fight. They would just be completely done with. How do you beat that? So this is completely unorthodox, and I'm preaching this because it works. It works for us hand calling. It can work for you e-calling as well. So when we pull up onto a stand on properties that we've been to and we've recognized that coyotes played the game, not necessarily from us, but maybe other people that are hunting the property, how do you beat that coyote? Time and proximity. Little longer on stand and cutting distance and proximity. So I'm just kind of fabricating this on the whiteboard here. Use the wind direction to your favor, and this sounds so unorthodox, but it actually works. So compass direction, north, south, east, and west. Here's our compass direction, all right? So here's the road. Here's where we're gonna park. This is the area where we wanna call into, but here's the habitat, and this is the most important thing. Habitat and wind direction. So hypothetically, if this is your habitat, something like that, you really have nothing off to your west. You have a lot of big habitat up to your north, and that habitat just kind of comes down to a peninsula to your east. So a lot of e-callers, what they'll do is, with a crosswind like this, they'll walk out, stand somewhere around here, and they'll want to walk their e-caller, I don't know, 60, 100 yards, something out straight ahead of them. So with this crosswind, that coyote, when it's in habitat here or habitat over here, when you turn on that call, you became a destination point. Okay, here's a big thing. I've said it before in another video. Coyotes don't care which way the wind is blowing until there is a point of destination. As soon as you turn your e-caller on, or as soon as you grab or as soon as you grab a hand call, you became a point of destination. Everything prior to that really doesn't matter. If there's no coyotes in the field, you have no visual of coyotes in the field, you're good. Green light, walk out. What a lot of e-caller guys will do, they'll come out into stand, they'll stand somewhere about here, and then they'll place their e-caller somewhere about here, okay? So now we're playing the crosswind from left to right. So hypothetically, what the caller is doing, where the e-caller is, this shooter is one of two things, not as likely. You have that hard charging coyote that comes out of habitat right to the e-caller, and it's disregarding its sense of security and survival instincts. You have that dumb hard charging coyote. Later in the season, especially later in the season right now, a lot of coyotes have played the game. Quite often that coyote is going to stay in habitat and it's going to circle. And it's going to try to get downwind from where it thinks it hears the sound is coming from. Because I've said this before as well. Communicating with a mammal, coyote is a mammal. They hear it, they want to see it, and when they can't see it, instinctually they're going to want to smell it. So, you as the caller, your e-caller is here, that coyote does a loop to smell what it hears. What reason does it give the coyote to break the sanctuary of cover on fringes or just in habitat to come out and smell what it hears when there's nothing there. So that downwind loop continues and the shooter is still here. Here's how to beat that, and this is something we do hand calling constantly. This is how we would set up. Depending on the size of your field, if this is from here, right in the middle, just off the tip, okay? This is really important. So, as we set up, I'm gonna stay somewhere in the middle of this field as your e-caller hand calling, and my shooter, my partner Andy, is actually gonna set up right there. Now, the most important thing, who you expect to be squeezing the trigger from here to habitat. I should actually rewrite this a little bit. We'll do it right here and right here. Okay? Disregard this. Our wind is blowing from our left to right. Now you are forcing the hand of the coyote, if it's that intrigued and committed to smelling what it hears, you force their hand to break the cover in the sanctuary of cover to poke its head out. It hears the sound way over here. This is also a distance thing. If this is 200 yards from me to here, or 300 yards from me to here, I'm putting my shooter 100 yards well within the effective range of the shooter. So you as the shooter, what is your effective range? And this is strictly you as the shooter. What's your effective range with your platform and ethical discharge distance? So me as the caller here, my shooter here, I'm still calling. I have the potential for that dumb, hard-charging coyote coming straight across habitat. Most likely what's going to happen is that coyote's going to stay in the sanctuary of cover and come out, and boop, it has the luxury of, well, that sound is way out here. Meanwhile, my partner is standing there in complete silence, not making a peep. I will hear his gun go off, and I'll hear the smack of the bullet on that coyote, and I never even see the coyote. So I'm actually putting my shooter straight downwind from me. So if this was you, use your caller as your partner. Put your caller a couple hundred yards upwind from you, stand in silence straight downwind from your e-caller, but the most important thing is where you're putting your call is you putting yourself into your effective range to shoot both this area for those hard charging coyotes coming out of the timber towards your e-caller, but you're also putting yourself within your effective range of that habitat. This is where you're going to be taking your shot. So use your e-caller as your partner, not just a tool in the field. This is something we've done over and over and over. And when we have spread out into fields where I call and my partner stands in silence, it might be 100 yards, 200 yards, 1,000 yards. We have some big properties that we can cover a lot of ground on. And I can't tell you how many times I won't hear it and I won't see it. And I know nothing is happening. And I hear that gunshot, that report go off, and I hear the thwack of the bullet. And then I get the message, coyote down, dumped him. So this is something to keep in mind. It's a little unorthodox, but it definitely works for us.